Good morning, everybody. Coffee Talk, Sunday, the 7th of March. I'm Guido from the left side of the Atlantic.
I'm Pilgrim from the correct side of the Atlantic. Oh, shilling yet again with a Guido mug.
Buy 'em up, buy 'em up. You see what's in my garage there, Pilgrim?
Oh, look at that, the awful panther.
I got it.
Good grief, what'd it cost you?
Well, I think some of you guys were here last night when I went to bed with a 25 million bid, not realizing that that was the bid that could be adjusted.
Really?
I'm not the sharpest bulb in the shed, right? I'm not the brightest tool.
No.
No. But I got
didn't
it.
really want to mention that, but yeah, I've noticed that.
Yeah. So here we are with I only have 1 million credits, so hopefully nothing for credits that I want shows back up. Artillery got it for 13.5. See, half the price. So
Yeah.
since I did that, I decided to double down, and this is the crew that came with it. So I threw every crew book I had, German crew book, which was about 9 of them, 7 of the little ones. Maybe it was 7 and 3, and then I used 250,000 free experience to bring him up to 2 skills. So I think then I put the crab skull, and then I didn't realize this, but you can actually put the teeth over top of the crab skull. Now the bummer is
Awesome.
that this piece of 3D stuff is there, but it sort of looks like braces. So I think that's perfect.
I think it is. You've got the potato camouflage on it because you paid probably double what everybody else paid for it, so there's no potatoes going on there, is there?
Yeah, because I'm a potato, I put the potato camo on it.
I mean, people in chat, look, Hisenberg got it for 10. I mean, how bad do you feel?
Yeah, but I have one that was 25 million, so mine's better.
Of course it is.
Sure.
Yeah, what's the stats on that anyway?
Oh yeah, so check this out, guys. I don't know if you realize this, but you get your old stats back. And I don't know if this was still showing. I don't think it was. I don't know if it was still showing in the stats. Maybe it has been the whole time and I just missed it. But for some reason I'm 59% in this thing on 160 battles.
Yeah, it's done you well, that, hasn't it? It's a good tank, then, isn't it? It's worth 25 mil.
Well, I have no reason why, because if you look at the actual numbers, they're atrocious. I mean, it's barely over a 1 damage and destruction ratio. My damage and my assist is okay. My damage is nothing. But these are old stats from the game a long time ago.
Yeah, when there was only like 40 of us playing.
Yeah, somebody kept their 3 mark. Oh, so it was... I guess it probably went away about the time the marks came around, because I probably wasn't playing it very much. I need to see what I can do to 3 mark it. Or to at least mark
Well,
it.
you won't be able to now, will you? Because the whole world and his dog have got one. All at 10 million, apart from you. Brilliant.
It's probably going to be hard, because it's going to be experienced players that have them based on how expensive they were.
Isn't it big? I mean, we were so used to our light tanks being very small, squat, the LT type variants and all that. And when I first saw it, I thought, that's a heavy tank. It looks like an Emil 2. It's massive.
Well, the Rheinmetall Panzerwagen is not too much. It's really the tallness of it that, like all the Panthers, it's crazy.
Yeah, I think it's the hull. The hull is the big bit.
Yeah, the hull.
Yeah.
The 2801 is known for being big. Here's a Hawk. It's very small, and then you got the Alpha Panther 2 or 3 times. But the camo is only like 11% standard. See, even with a few guys with a little bit of camo and whatnot, I only have 17%. That's just atrocious for a light tank. 17. The only good news is you keep it while you move.
Yeah, there is that, isn't there? I guess.
Guy paid 14,000 thinking it was a medium. Perfect.
Brilliant.
Mistakes were made, fellas. Mistakes were made. That's all right, though. I got it back. Who cares? Who cares?
Well, I think to be fair, Guido, we talked about this before. It's actually a false cost. There's no reality to the cost, is there?
No.
In real terms, it's not like you've opened your wallet and gone, I've just spent $10,000 to get.
I mean, unless you actually pay paid cash for the gold,
Yeah.
and it was
Yeah.
and it was bought for gold. There's really not a direct correlation, in my opinion, for
Nah.
silver to real money, unless you bought packages to get the silver. And if you've got that kind of money and want to, do your thing. Who cares?
Exactly. Not my business.
Exactly. Yeah, there's a couple threads on that same subject in the forum. People virtue signaling and talking about what things are worth and what they're not worth and blah blah blah. I'm like, dude, that's for you, man. That's not for everybody else.
Yeah.
Take care of your own self, man.
Yeah. Look after yourself first before you try and look after everybody else's opinions.
They're like, oh, you paid too much. You got ripped off. No, it's a pixel tank game, and I can grind those credits back in a couple months, and I have nothing else to spend them on. So, what's your point?
Exactly. I'm not about to go and empty the bank account. Do you know what I mean? Well, first of all, the house general wouldn't let me, and secondly, it's not within my sphere of operations to go about throwing hundreds of dollars into this game. I mean, I have done, but over the years, but not for a tank.
So, do you want to know my next plan?
What's your next plan?
All right, the next plan is to try and get the T22, which my thoughts on the T22 are known. And
really?
Then I'm going to, and I will spend every bit of the 79,000 gold I have to get it. and then I've had a kind of epiphany on tactics, and I'm going to test it because I think I have a great idea for how to win a lot with the T22.
Right.
All right.
Let's hear it then.
Well, I think the T22, if you're going to do the best you can in it, is to not put any equipment on it.
Right.
Not put any kits like med kits and stuff. To carry only HE and drive it backwards into battle.
That sounds like a winning tactic to me. I
so.
believe the French do that in real life.
But there's another key to it. You can only do it once a day. So once a day, you get your T22, you turn it around with some HE, and you go right at the enemy. And I think, given enough time, so this is going to be a long process of testing. So testing phase, right? Testing phase.
Okay. It's a bit like Sandbox then, is it? It's Guido Sandbox.
Guido box
with
the T22. I'm pretty sure that given enough time, I will perfect that tactic.
You think you'll get it to a 60% win rate or better?
107%, I'm pretty sure.
107, okay. You're going to put Chuck in that tank, are you?
No, Chuck's... that tank's already too good for Chuck.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Can you do me a favour?
Yeah.
Please, when you do that, do not send me a platoon request.
Well, I want that to be public knowledge that that's the plan.
Okay.
That I actually consciously believe. What the heck is going on here? That I actually consciously believe that no kidding that's going to work really nicely.
Well, to quote Guido, that's your business, my friend. It's not mine.
It's none of my business.
None of my business.
All right, 100 battle challenge is ongoing. The M6 is testing my patience, but I'll be done with it in about 10 battles.
Right.
Is
that where you're at now? Tier 6-ish?
No, I've been doing is just grabbing the ones that are closest to 100 and working with that.
Okay.
And for some reason it was close. For some unfortunate reason it was close. It's not a terrible tank. It's just so slow, and the backup is terrible, and the armor is terrible. Maybe it is a terrible tank.
You just talked yourself into that, didn't you?
Yeah, I think it is. It's just not much fun to play. It's actually not bad for a Tier 6 heavy, but all Tier 6 heavies minus maybe the KV2 are kind of miserable. I think also the transition from the T1 heavy to the M6 is not a big enough jump for the tier jump. I think the T1 heavy is quite a little monster in at tier. Yeah.
But then you expect that similar sort of results from the M6, but it just doesn't seem to do that jump.
Yeah, nobody's really scared of the M6 when it comes around the corner, right?
No, not really. Not really.
I mean, like I said, it's not bad. It's kind of painful to drive. They are big. EU update, really haven't touched it this week. Nothing to add there. I will be streaming tomorrow. My day off is tomorrow, so expect a stream. I've been shifting a little later, probably start at 10 or 11-ish, depends on what else I have going on. And we'll go into the early afternoon with that. And then I'll have stack up starting at 4 to 6, so I'll be streaming twice tomorrow. And that's it.
How's that going? Did you said you got raided by Skill or something while you were doing that, didn't you?
Oh, dude.
Just
yeah, that was awesome and terrible at the same time. Because,
of course, yeah,
because it was on the Stack Up channel, dude. It wasn't on my channel. I picked up a handful of follows where people, because I mentioned it later on, and some people went over to the channel and took the effort to go find me and give me a follow. But you know, a couple thousand, 3,000 people I think piled in. But by the time I was done, I want to say 500 or 600 of them stuck around. And there was actually a couple donations in there as well, which was nice. I think a couple of them from you guys, basically from this community, which was cool. I do appreciate that for the stack up stuff. So I am whining, a little bit. I would have loved to have had it on my channel. It would have been really nice. But thanks to Skill for that. That was awesome. I don't know if he just picked me out of a hat or what happened there, but that was great. I sent him a note, told him thank you, and he sent me one back that said NP, no problem.
Okay. Yeah, he talks a lot, doesn't he?
I was watching him for a while yesterday. He is pretty funny, the stuff he carries on about. It cracks me up. God,
I like the fact that just lately, he's put a little one-liner in the chat saying, when I'm focused on the game, I'm not reading chat, because previously he used to really religiously read chat as he was doing it. And I was amazed at how he could still operate and be such a good player, but also be reading chat. It's almost as if he didn't even have to look at what he was doing, But I think he was trying to get his 100% on one of his tanks, so he just went, right, I'm not reading chat. So there you go.
Yeah, that's what I sort of figured on that. So that was cool. All right, so that's it for the channel. Missions and specials. Let's chill, man. We ready to chill?
Let's do that.
First things first is the Watt Salute members badge. Guys, if you're a Salute person, there's actually a badge now, which I think is this deal up here. And then you change your badge, or am I wrong? Yeah, you change it here. Then you have all these badges. And then this is the Salute member badge right here in the bottom right, which you can't see. Let me lift it up. There we go. It says military. And then that shows up in game, so you can have that thing on there. In fact, I'll just leave that on. That'll work.
You know what's nice about that, Greedo, apart from the fact that, you recognising veterans for their service, or serving members for the service, for that matter. But what's nice about that is, when I've seen it in-game, people have actually typed in, thank you for your service to those people. Now, that thank you for everybody's service, whether you've been in the military or not, is my opinion. If you're a doctor or you're a nurse or a taxi driver, you're giving a service to somebody. But it's nice that people in game are responding to seeing that badge. That's all. You know what I mean? I think it's cool.
Yeah. Yep. That's cool. I agree with that. That's the thing I always say to people. Thank you for your service, and well, thank you for whatever it is you're doing that makes the community and civilization move forward. That's why we did that, so you could do that, and you're doing that, so to support us doing what we do. So there you have it.
Exactly.
All right. Let's see. Shilling. We're shilling. Get over to the shop.
What's the are you going to the shop? You don't want to. You want to look at the news first. You're doing the shop first, are you?
Let's roll the shop. Let's get the shop.
Okay. It's just so I know which button to click on my computer as well.
Oh, jeez, that's...
So it looks like we're coordinated.
All right, there we go. Shop. So there's a couple things in the shop, guys, of note. The first thing is the 7501 is back out, as well as the GK, another tank that destroyed the game. And the T-34-3 is out. Remember, the T-34-3 has had a recent buff. So that's the featured stuff. Gold-wise, nothing really in there. One of the things I wanted to show is premium account. And again, we're still close to Christmas, and most of you guys are power users of the game. But oh, look at that. Isn't that funny? There was another one of these in here 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, it's changed, doesn't it? Because the
Yeah.
server reset.
Yeah. So I was gonna show that because the other one was like 17 or $18 for the same, and it had the Valentine too, I think. So I was like, if you're looking for 30 days of premium and a little crummy tank, little tier 4 tank, do not get the Valentine one. Get the one with the T28E because it's $6 or $7 cheaper. But there you go.
I've still got it, Guido. I've still got it. Yeah, it's
Really?
30 days of what premium plus the T28E works out of $15 ish, and the Valentine works out at 20 something, $24 thereabouts.
How do you still have it and I don't have it?
I don't know. Well, maybe
bizarre.
it's taken time to kick over in about coming over to the UK. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Did you not open the page up? You've had the page open the whole time.
No, I've just opened it now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, $11 is
Go
not a bad
back to
deal.
gold. Go back to gold. When you
did.
finish that, go back to
Oh,
gold.
okay.
Because I want to point something out that you might be able to see on your screen, the same as me, that is typical wargaming.
Okay, what?
You back there?
Yep.
Right. They have two. You know, we were talking about buying silver. I mean, who does? But anyway, buying silver. They've got the two. They've got the Fort Knox and the War Chest. Have you got that?
Yep.
They're identical, but they're different prices because they've applied a discount to the Fort Knox.
No.
But you get exactly the same thing.
No.
10,000 of... Yep. You get 10,000 gold, 10 million silver for the Fort Knox. You get 10,000 gold and 10 million silver for the War Chest. But there's a, I don't know, $50, $60 difference. Wargaming. Don't you just love them? You can see somebody clicking on the War Chest, paying for it, then looking again, going, oh, hang on a minute.
Now, fellas, if you're going to buy one of those, so that I get my proper kickback, I'm gonna need you to purchase the more expensive one.
Yeah, the War Chest.
Yeah,
Don't go anywhere near
do
Fort
not
Knox.
get the Fort Knox. Because she has a red warning. See those little red warnings? That means don't buy that one.
That's it. That's what that means.
Yeah.
Now I know what that means.
That's a red warning. Do not. You're right. That is the same.
There's nothing else. There's no like reserves with it, or it's just exactly the same package. But
It's not the
$50
same,
more
Pilgrim.
expensive.
It's not.
Oh, it's not.
It has a different name.
Oh, of course. How silly of me. That's a War Chest. That will make your tank a little bit more op in battle. I get it. Right. Okay. Cool.
That's actually pretty funny. All right, so this is a decent. Back over here, this is actually a decent deal, guys. In truth, and like I was saying, if you, for whatever reason, you need some premium time, 30 days is $12 off the top, and with this, you get the little tank chucked on top, and you save $1. Well, less than $1, but you get the point. Let's see. Move on to vehicles. What else we got? Same things. There's a 30-day with a tank attached. Blah blah blah. 34 shielded, kind of the same thing, although it's a 40. Good lord. Oh, it's got some gold. Okay. It's like, what? $40
Yeah.
for 30 days free? There's some gold chucked on top. You can buy 2 Scorpions.
Yeah. Of course you can. Yeah. Because that's what you do, isn't it?
I don't think I have both of those, actually.
Well, for a collector, I guess there is a point, because if you want the Scorpion G, because you won't get the Scorpion camo. Yeah,
That's one of
and
the
if you
few
wa-
doubles I actually don't have. Interesting.
Well, isn't that odd?
Yeah. One of the few doubles I don't have right there, so not that I want it. Because I've got the 2 Defenders, I got the 2 STG things, I've got 2 T-34s, 2 IS-6s, 2 Mutts, Panzers, whatever they are. All right.
With your dual crew,
Oh, different crews. Why not?
different crews, yeah.
Yeah, why not? Well, they belong
Yeah.
in another tech tree tank. You know what? Who knows? My crews are so messed up. There's no telling what's going on with those.
Yeah. Talking crews as a tangent, I went through all of mine yesterday. I mean, I've only got how many tanks have I got? Let me have a look.
You went through
I've
all
only
your
got-
crews?
Yeah, 211 tanks. I went. No, I
Were they called out into the yard for inspection? They're all lined up waiting for the commander
Oh,
to come by.
you bet. I was like marching them up and down like I did my kids when they go to bed. Yeah, exactly. You remember how I used to march my children off to bed?
Yeah.
So I did that with all my crews.
What is
But
what
yeah,
is the
so-
British cadence? How does that go? How do you guys do the marching?
We don't do singing because we're out of breath. So when we're marching, because we're so unfit, so we don't actually get to sing. Not like the Marines.
So it's more like a bunch of huffing and puffing.
Yeah, it's sort of. Well, I can give you a quick. It's sort of like daft, about turn, daft, like that. You see, we don't do that singing stuff.
So it is left right, but in a very bizarre, affected.
Yes, it's very short and clipped.
Probably ancient at this point.
Yeah, it begins with a D. Each word begins with a D.
Deft.
Yes. Or some go F, because everything begins with an F.
Yeah.
F.
And what
You're
are
a sergeant major of the guards?
and what are
law?
What are the various commands to march yourself forward, line up, and start charging the muskets?
Okay, that's this is where the ranks come in. You see, front rank, centre rank, rear rank.
Right.
Because back in the day when we formed squares to fight wars, you would have the front rank would be virtually lying down. Second rank would be kneeling.
Right.
Third rank would be stood up. So it'd be front rank, prepare muskets, prepare, and then they. That's after fixing bayonets, of course.
Yeah.
And then it was take aim, muskets, front rank. Wait for it. Whites of the eyes. Whites of the eyes. Yeah. Front rank.
So one rank is loading. One rank is preparing to fire. Are the other two loaded?
Yeah. Initially, you've got all three ranks are loaded.
Yeah, and then you've got
fire. So the front rank fire, and then the
second.
the centre rank then takes the fire while the front rank's trying to reach it, and then so on like that. And then you create what's called a fusillade of fire.
Right, it's constantly.
That's how we did it at Rorke's Drift against the Zulus.
Were you there?
Yeah, I was the chef. I was cooking dinner. Dinner's ready, guys. Oh shit, there's a war going on.
Nothing good going on out there. I'll just go back to my pots.
Yep.
Okay, I think that's it. That's enough. Are we done with shilling? I don't think there's anything else to add there.
Well, not really. No, is there?
That part of it anyway.
No.
All right. So you wanted to go to the adverts?
Oh yeah, let's do the news.
Okay.
Let's do the news. Let's do the home news. Right. Okay. International Women's Day. Totally agree with it. I think there should be an International Women's Day.
Uh-huh.
And I support it fully. And I think, ladies in the game bring nothing but nice, good stuff. When do we get an International Man's Day then?
Every day is
That's
Man's
my
Day,
question.
man. Every day is Man's Day.
Well, apparently it's not, is it? It's the 29th, 30th and 31st of February, as we said last year. last week. Oh, dear.
So every 4 years we get 1 day of those 3 days.
We do, when we can be right and we can have a day.
That is a subject fraught with danger, my friend. But yes, International Women's Day. A lot of the female streamers have been having drops and stuff, so that's going on all weekend. I think today, actually, does it go past today, or it ends today? No, it ends Tuesday. Never mind, I stand corrected. So today and tomorrow. There's also some missions and things going on with that.
Yeah.
Do you have to?
Did you watch Commander AF's stream when she invited all the ladies on?
No, I heard about it. Was it good?
It was fantastic. I have never been so emancipated in all my life. As a bloke watching it, I was like, I give up. I just give up. I can't deal with all this. It was like, I had no idea what they were talking about. It could have been handbags and shoes as far as I'm concerned, but I had no idea what they were talking about. They had that many tangents in there. It was worse than our coffee talk. And anything to do with tanks was to do with how pretty the camouflage looks. Oh, I'm going to get shot for that.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Oh, isn't that a nice camouflage?
Well, we just had a tangent about marching, so I don't know how that's really any better.
Well, I know, yeah. The only one that made any sense was Tragic, bless her. And she was trying to keep it all on keel. Commander AF lost it within 5 minutes.
Lost the plot right off.
Absolutely.
Well, that's what's great about these freeform kind of things like this. You can do a little bit of that, and if people are interested in,
Yeah, it's
because the gamer is not the gamer, right? That's not their entire life. They have other interests and things going on, and if you're female, you have other interests. There you go. You know what I mean? Not always, not every time. Sometimes they're some of the same interests. The game is the same interest, but the tangents are going to be different for every person and whatever the hell they do.
Yes.
So,
and I could be totally misogynistic and say, if you put 8 women in the same room together, you never know what's going to come out of that, do you? I'm old. I can say things.
You
like
can.
That.
Well,
I
I steer clear of it when my Frau and her teacher friends all get together because you start to feel bad for the children at that point. But anyway.
You do, because you could get out of it. The kids can't, can you? You could go. I've just got to go clear the drains, dear, in the yard.
No, I meant the children at school.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because that's they have a couple glasses of wine and the truth serum starts flowing. But it's like anywhere you work, you know what I mean? You're going to talk about work when you're with your workmates.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it's not like it's all freaking rainbows and unicorns all the time when you're dealing with children. And usually, to be quite fair, 99% of it is talking about parents.
Is it really?
And not the children, because it's understood as a teacher that the problem is probably not the fourth grader, because the fourth grader hasn't figured out how to be a problem yet. They are only mirroring the behaviors that they have seen.
Yeah, it's just copying at the moment.
Yeah, good stories.
Who we got in the house, Guido? While we're here, who's
Low Blow's here? Actually, I saw Low Blow come in and say hello.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
I hope he's got some decent clothes on. Hope you're dressed properly, Lobo.
All right. Where the hell were we, man? What are we talking about?
We were looking at the news, and we had a bit on the International Women's Day. So
so that's going on. Very good. Epic deals. We'll get to the black market in a little while, guys, and we'll see what you guys have been getting. There's actually a black market box on the store with the clothes and crap. There's a box you can get for $74 that has $140 worth of stuff in it. I'm this tempted actually to get it just to see. So I got it called up here. There's actually a jacket in there. Not that I would actually wear it because it has wargaming stuff all over it, but I don't know. It would be kind of funny. What is this thing?
That little? I think it's a rubber tank.
Is it rubber or plush?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, it could be. It could be a
stuffed toy or something.
Feet on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
Limited time. The high caliber mystery box. Each box contains at least one apparel item.
At least one.
Yeah. Collectibles and other sweet Watt accessories. In theory, it's worth 141. Then they have these 4 pictures. This is like a loot. This is like the loot box thing.
This is it. You're not guaranteed to get all of that, are you?
No.
But you guarantee to get one of that.
I would hate to pay $74 and get a T-shirt and a bunch of other little collectible stuff. Anyway, I don't know. That's not something I generally pay money for. You know what I mean? I guess I like it. And I do have some, like I'm wearing my Gators shirt today.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And technically I did not buy it. I did pay for it because most things in this house are such.
It's your wallet that gets opened up.
It was a gift. It was a lovely gift from my daughter who goes to UF. But I assume it was paid for on my credit card.
Do you know, I think most blokes live parallel lives like that, because I'm exactly the same. When the kids used to be at home, I used to get the, Dad, can I have 20 quid?
Yeah.
You want £20? What you doing? What are you doing with £20? Why have I got to give you £20? Oh, because Mum said I've got to buy you a birthday present. And I'm like, okay, how about I keep the £20 and you don't bother buying me a present?
Just put it back in the wallet and say thank you for my present.
Yeah, it was lovely. Great thought.
I know, and that gets there has to be a transition though, and I'm assuming you've passed it. There's some point at which they start buying the presents themselves, I guess. I'm not
they
there.
do now, but they're totally irrelevant. They're totally... They'll kill me for this, but they're totally nothing that... Or they're like garden gnomes. They buy me garden... I hate garden gnomes. We've said this before. Every birthday, every Christmas, a box arrives at the door, posted by my children, and it's another garden gnome.
And it's all very funny.
And it's all very funny. When I line them up at the bottom of the garden and get me BB gun out and shoot the bloody lot of them.
Oh, that's actually... You should record that. That would be fun.
That would be, would it? Yeah.
Yeah.
How to destroy... Yeah, how to
Actually,
destroy...
what you need is one of those little mechanical tanks that shoots BBs.
Yeah, that would be good.
Because they have those, like the Panzer, and it actually has a working...
RC.
Yeah, it's got a working BB gun on it. And then if it's big enough, you could run them over.
Yeah. Okay. Now you've got me thinking.
I think I've told this story, so I'll paraphrase it. I'll make it faster than usual because you guys may have heard this, but my mom, for years and years, would get owls, anything owl related, pictures, figurines, clothes, towels, blah blah blah, the whole thing.
Right.
And later in life, I said to her, "Well, so what? How did you get into the owls?" She goes, "I didn't." Years and years and years ago, somebody gave me an owl, and I made a fuss over it about how cool it was.
Yeah.
And then it just generated as a legend that she had nothing to do with. She's like, I don't like owls any more than I like anything else. The house is covered in fucking owls. Now it's not anymore because everyone's in on it, and we stopped giving her owl stuff. But
Right.
when I was a teenager, and probably till I was about 30, I gave her owl shit constantly. I got to find the coolest owl thing for Mom, and some of this shit was expensive, and it's just owls just kept piling in, and she's like,
And the thing is, mums do that thing, don't they? They go, they're very good at this. They go, oh, that's lovely, thank you, and with all sincerity. So you
Right.
do it again next year.
That's exactly how it starts. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Wayne. Where have you been, man?
Right.
Brother, it is... I should go take you... I wish I had a way to go mobile. Our Christmas tree is still up. I shit you negative.
Okay.
I shit you negative.
Wow.
So yes, that is in fact... There's Santa. If I can get a hold of it. That is a Christmas stocking. In fact, if you look right there, that is a little Christmas tree.
And the red cup.
Season's greetings. There's a little present thing. And that's actually one of those Christmas bulb plants, whatever they're called. But I think
Which hasn't grown.
Oh, I may have waited too long. I just planted it like a week ago, and nothing's happening. So
Oh, did okay.
Yeah.
What, poinsettia?
Yeah, something like that. The ones that
Yeah,
come in a bulb, and you get them as a present. It was under the tree until 2 weeks ago, because the tree is still up. And then there's a season's greeting card, and then I still have my Santa hat, my elf hat. Yeah, so yes, it's Christmas.
I think you're... who was that actor who did the elf? Yeah, I think that's you. I think you're elf. Or your house is elf house.
I'm telling you,
It's
man.
always Christmas.
I'm telling you. She's like, oh, we got to get the boxes out and put the Christmas away. I'm like, all you have to do is tell me, I will go get those boxes. And she's like, well, I don't know. And I said, we went to April once, and now she's denying it. We've never gone past Easter. I'm like, that is not true.
But that can't be a factor of denial, can it? To say, no, we haven't been as far as April, that actually means you've been as far as March.
Right. Exactly. Which is
You know what I mean?
the same thing, really. If you're if you're denying you got to April and it was March 31st, well, okay, we're really parsing here a little bit, aren't we?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh dear, oh
We're
dear.
definitely splitting.
I tell you what, I
We're
have not
splitting
laughed so
hairs.
much. I have not laughed so much since I saw my grandmother get her tits caught in a mangle. Oh my goodness me!
One year I was deploying and I was leaving in November, and we put it up in October. She loves Christmas. She's the Christmas lady. So I will be that guy when I'm 85, and we're both, and the house will be known as the Christmas house, and the local news station will come in and they'll start talking to me about, when was it that you knew your wife was the Christmas lady, and I'll have to, talk about all that. But you know what? Makes her happy.
Do you do? I mean, and I'm sorry if this is a generic. All Americans do this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But because this is the impression we get over here in this little backwater called the United Kingdom. But do you do the whole lights and blown up dolls of reindeers and Father Christmases outside the front of the house? And
I do lights. I do some subdued. I like a couple colorful lights that we put on we have a swing out front, so I wrap some colorful. We have some bushes in the front yard. I put these like net white lights, and that's it. I don't do any of the blow up stuff. But there's plenty of houses.
The neighborhood.
Oh,
your neighborhood.
Oh,
yeah.
Not
It's
nearly
a big deal for you guys, isn't it?
It is, and it's not nearly as much as when I was a kid. And Utah's fairly conservative, so it might be a little bit different there. But when I was a kid, it was unusual for a house to not have lights up at Christmas. So when you went down, like almost every neighborhood where I lived was covered in lights at Christmas. And if there was 2 or 3 houses on that block that didn't have lights, because it was all in Utah, it's all they're new cities, so they're all grid. So the suburb neighborhoods are all just grid. So you just go down street, and it's just there were lights freaking everywhere. Yeah. Smooth Criminal, we're going to definitely talk about that. I did not get an A32 or Quill in. I tried to get the Quill in. I bid $25 million, which was all I had, and that's how I got the Awful Panther you can see there. I did not get the Quill in. I would have liked to have got it. And the A32, I was telling Pilgrim, I was actually intending to be there when it showed up, and got a wild hair and decided, hey, I need to run down to the store and get some cucumbers, because I haven't been able to find cucumbers yet and put them in the garden. And I was in the truck at 10. I went, oh crap, I forgot about the black market. But you know what? That's good. I had life to go do, so I went and did life. And so what? I missed an A32. I'll get over it.
Not before hitting yourself around the head with a soggy sock.
No, and to make myself feel better, I paid $25 million for an Awful Panther.
Yeah, for a German light tank.
So tell me, guys, did anyone get the Quill in? And I'm assuming the animation is only for you, because I've seen them fire and I haven't seen anything happen. So I'm assuming only the person in the tank sees the fire breathing piece of it. Is that right?
Wait, have I missed something here? What?
I thought it has. I thought it
What?
like when it shoots. When it shoots, I think it has. There's a lot of fire, right? It's like something.
Really?
Yeah.
So
I think
it's got it's got a special effect on it.
Yeah, there's an animation or a
Cool.
special effect. I think.
Okay. I didn't know that.
I feel better. Smooth Criminal paid $71 million for the Quillin. My brother.
Wow.
My brother.
Wow. Well, I mean, yeah, wow, but it really, it's not real, is it?
Cliffy's got it. There you go. It belches fire and the dragon eyes turn red.
Well, I like that idea. I think that, I know I don't like camo, these silly decals and all the rest of it, but actually, not so much the eyes turning red, but a big blast of flame coming out the end of your barrel is a bit cool, isn't it?
Special case says everyone sees it. I guess I'm just not paying attention.
Oh, okay.
A fire-breathing fest. All right, I'll have to pay attention. I guess I've just missed it.
57 mil.
Well, we talked about
mil.
We talked about that early. Who cares? You know what? It's
yeah.
Let's say you had $500 million and you wanted to pay for it. Do it. All right.
Yeah. Do it.
Where were we? Oh, we were talking about mission specials. Black market we'll get to in a minute. Women's Day we talked about black. Market, we'll talk about Crew 2.0, talked about the badge. All right, cool. I think that's it for that.
Yeah, I mean, there's the fast track and the get on tracks and all that sort of stuff going on. But surprisingly, the university things have stopped, haven't they? On a hiatus is what they've said, isn't
Oh,
it? They paused them.
did they, or did we miss them? Did they say they were going to
No,
pause
they
them?
paused them. There was a
Oh,
one-liner. There was a one-liner saying, I think it was on the news screen last week. We're pausing. Some I can't remember the exact wording, but we are basically shoving it under the shelf for now.
interesting.
They may be back later, is what was said, sometime later in the year.
Okay.
Surprising, because I went to do it and I thought, oh, it's not there, it's not there, it's not there. And there was one of these little pictures with a university
Yeah.
challenge thing underneath, and you click on it, it's a one-liner just saying basically they're shelving it now, shelving it until later on in the year, probably.
All right. Well,
possibly.
let's start rabble rousing. Everybody hit the
Yeah.
forum.
Yes, we want the university challenges back.
Yeah, that's no fair. You rip offs, silly wargaming you ripper offers. I've been ripped offer. All
Yeah.
right. Special Commander AF mission is to get some cola. Was that a Women's Day thing, or was that her code? Must have been her code. Must have been the code.
I'm gonna put it in live now.
Okay. Watch salute stuff is standard. Community hunting standard. Multipliers on track. The on track is the UDES 1516. The more multipliers. What's the other one? The other one is the E100, which I think is ending on the 20th. Yeah, it's ending on the 20th. International Women's Day. Looks like I did that yesterday. There's a lot of goodies there. We got some inscriptions and whatnot. Day of Premium. Oh, a CVS. Very nice. Oh, and there's a couple.
Oh,
Osanka Shavenko. Without voiceover. Okay. And Audrey DuPont, who I remember from another event earlier. I don't remember this
yeah.
particular person, but maybe she showed up somewhere as well. All free stuff is on hiatus. You will get nothing free. You will only play and work for what you get. This is what happens in a Russian game. All right? You'll get nothing and like it. That's so much free crap here. All right, International Women's Day, all kinds of goodies. So, wasn't that hard, although I played a lot yesterday. Top 5, top 10, some damage. Yeah, that's easy stuff. Easy peasy. On track, like I said, the E100. Big catch. Did I finish this? Looks like I did. This is the stuff for the. I have to think about it. Prime Gaming.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
For Prime Gaming. So big catch, and that's it, guys. Other missions. Look at all these times 5s I still have. Holy cow.
What was Commander's AF code again? Sorry, I missed it. Right.
Thaw out, guys. Oh, I didn't say it.
THAW.
Yep, THAWOUT. Thaw out will get you a rental. Actually, this rental's pretty good. It's the 703 version 2, the 2-barrel. So if you haven't played that bad boy, you can type in thaw out on NA, and you can have a 3-day rental of the 703 version 2 and some personal reserves.
Yep, just got it.
It
Brilliant.
is a rip-off, Randall. They keep taking free stuff away and giving us other free stuff. They should only give us free stuff and keep giving us free stuff.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And then go back and give us more free stuff when we need it.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's a rip-off. Bottom
Yeah,
line.
total.
Bottom line. The fleecing of the World of Tanks community. Complete crap. Or something.
Or something like that.
So yeah, I think there's something like that going on. All right, let's move on to subjects du jour. This is the part where we talk about subjects du jour, because that's the title of it. Which, of course, is French for subjects that we're talking about. Yes, Kedge, they've destroyed Tank University.
They did, Kedge,
Yeah.
indeed.
The
What was the rental tank Commander AF was supposed to get you?
703 version 2, the 2-barrel. Do you have it?
Oh, no, I've already got it, haven't I?
Yeah, so you're not.
I was looking for it. That was good. I haven't got it. I have got it,
Well, you got it, but you didn't get it.
but I didn't get it.
I got it, didn't
Didn't
get
get anything
it.
for it.
Good.
Sorry. I'll shut up now.
Tinfoil time. Wayne says it's tinfoil time. Update 1.12, fellas. What do you guys think of the newly upgraded, the newly buffed tanks? I think they're pretty good, man. I played a couple on stream. I'm trying to get to the article right now so we can take a quick look at what it was. There we go. So we got a couple things in 1.12 that I like, right? You got the buffs to the 4 tanks, so the Super Pershing, STG Guard, or STG/STG Guard, the T-34-3, and the STA-2. The weird thing about that is the STA-2 was already recently buffed.
Yeah.
The Super Pershing's been buffed a couple times and nerfed once. The Guard, I thought, got a buff a while ago, didn't it? Like a small one?
Yeah,
maybe?
but no, that was aim. It got a small aim buff, I think,
Okay.
because the dispersion was too much.
And I think even the 34-3 was buffed maybe a year or two ago. But anyway, all good stuff. I think the best thing on all of them, the STA-2 did not get a mobility buff. And neither did the 34-3. The Guard and the Pershing got mobility buffs, and they feel much more... They got engine power and specific power buff, so they feel much more sprightly, and that's really nice, especially in the case of the STG. The STG was just a dog for how slow it was. It was really slow. So that was good.
I mean, the Guard or the equivalent without the paint job didn't feel like a medium, did it? I mean, it barely feels like a medium now, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, it can keep up with them now. It's not beating any mediums to the punch, but it can definitely keep up with them. So not too far behind them. I actually kind of like that. Wayne does not like the Super Pershing. Well, bite your tongue, man. I actually like the Super Pershing. But yeah, it's not.
Shall I admit to something on stream?
It depends on if it's illegal or not.
Well, no, it's nothing personal. I've got the Super Pershing. I've had it since its first initial coming into the game, and I've never played it. I've never played it purely because there are similar tanks that I've played, which I've enjoyed, but I've just never played the Super Pershing. But the American line has, I think, 3 of these type of tanks. The E4 types. So I've played them, but I've never played the Super Pershing. I don't even have equipment or anything on it. I've got a mediocre crew. I might actually take it out for a roll tonight. I think. We'll see. So you reckon it's better?
It's better than it was. And I'm wondering if Wayne is thinking about its old pen, because it did get a pen buff. It used to be 192 or 170. Actually, I think it was 175 at one point. But it's 202 now, which is reasonable, and it's 258 with its APCR, which is decent for a Tier 8. So I think it's in the ballpark now. It is still a little bit slow and ungainly. But you got to love it. You put some America F yeah camo on it right there. You see some pretty 3 marks. Good job, Guido. Good job, 3 marks.
Look at you.
I bet
skill up.
I bet it's in the 80% now. I bet it's nowhere near 95 right now.
Yeah.
Let's find out.
Yeah.
88.
Yeah. But then you don't need to worry about that. You've done it already.
Yeah, I'm 3 marked. I'm awesome. I'm really good. I've played it a lot.
Call you the American skill.
Yeah, right. I played it a lot. This is one of my main credit grinders actually for a long time. But I don't know. I just like the tank. It's not bad.
I think I'm just looking now. But go back to just having a look. American tanks, right?
Yeah, if you're willing to dab too when you need it with this tank, you're going to be fine. And the armor can be very trollish if you're moving around and forcing people to aim carefully into that side cheek area right there, or try to get into one of the hatches and that kind of thing. Remember this thing, this big. This is actually a spring up here. I didn't know that, but this is a counterweight spring kind of deal for the weight of the gun, which they had to strap onto the top instead of putting, normally they're in the turret and attached to the gun and stuff. But they had to do that because of the weight. In fact, you can see where it's, well, actually it doesn't appear to be. I'm not really sure how it works. I guess it's probably internal or something to that, but anyway, that's what that is.
That's the, and I know it's only a game, but does that spaced armor work? Because it's effectively spaced armor,
yeah.
Isn't it? It's,
yeah, dude. The armor's amazing.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Works
I've
great.
got a lot of battles in the Pershing, and in fact, this. I know there's no real comparison.
The springs are not a hitbox, Stickler. That's why I brought it up.
Oh, are they not?
Do not shoot at that. That is nothing. The hatch behind it is. So when you're looking at this hatch, and it kind of, that's one of the things about some of these 3D camos, is essentially consider that part of a 3D camo. It can cover up some of the weak spots at times. Some of the other tanks have that same situation. But this little cheek area is a weak spot on the turret right here, so you can pin them in there.
Right.
Same thing on that side. The hatches. This,
but
I think...
It's pretty much the American brawler hull down thing, isn't it, I guess? Like most American heavies. Mediums and heavies.
This little weak spot here. RNG Russian bias says his, yeah, well, I think a FV183 loves all tier 8s. I think it loves all tier 8s.
Yes. You see, Kedge, I've got the regular Pershing as well, which I've got 100% win rate in it. I've only done 7 battles in it, but I've got 100% win rate in it.
Heisenberg makes a good point. The side is very soft, so you can pen the side of it for days with nearly anything. Side scraping, side scraping is not this thing's forte. In fact, instead of side scraping backwards, you might as well kind of poke forward, kind of like this. Come at them poking forward, with the turret pointed towards the threat.
Okay.
Even so, this is a weak spot up in here. If you can get into the side, heat obviously gets eaten by tracks or HE, but AP or APCR can go through the side pretty easy. Sly Meerkat, hello, how are you?
Hello, Sly.
Aren't all meerkats kind of sly?
I don't know, they sort of sit up, don't they? So, are they?
They're tricky little things. They were my favorite animal for a long time. I really like meerkats. They're awesome.
Yeah, there was a whole shed load of them live in Canada. Apparently. When I used to go training up there, I used to go over to Batters or Suffield.
Those aren't meerkats. There's no meerkats in Canada.
What are them up there then?
They're like gophers.
They're gophers.
Groundhogs.
Groundhogs. Yeah, you guys call them groundhogs, aren't they? Gophers. All right. They like that. They look. They're what? I mean, I'm assaulting a position, so I'm like what you guys call pepper potting. We call it something else anyway. But so I'm in, and then there's all these gophers all lined up like that.
Hey, hold on. Sly Meerkat, you own a pair of meerkats? Really?
Cool.
All right, that's cool. That's cool.
I like that. Prairie dogs, Cliffy, yeah.
71 AMC.
That is cool.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you? Yeah, I like the meerkats, man. Every time there's like a documentary on meerkats, I watch it because it just they crack me up, man.
Yeah, they are immensely funny, aren't they?
Yeah. They're also fairly brutal, apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. 1.12, what else? Oh, we wanted to take a look at in case you guys didn't know this, some of you learned me this yesterday, I was not aware of. Battle notifications, go over here. So you want to go to battle notifications, battle report and missions, and then you can turn on the HP bar, the team HP number, what is that? Oh, what your team's total hit points are. The difference between them, that's this little number right here. You can barely see it, but it says 1, 2, 3. That's the difference between the two pools. And then it will track the relative hit point between each team. And then you've got the little symbols for the tanks that are dead up here. And then then you can turn your missions and stuff on here. I don't really care about those, so I leave them off.
Do you find that too much of a distraction in game? Because I've turned it all off. Because it's just so annoying.
This, Pat? This?
Yeah, because when you split it down, it shows you all the different tiers and everything else. I spend 2 or 3 minutes staring at it, trying to figure it all out. Oh no, just switch it off. I'm not interested. Is that just me?
Yeah, it actually doesn't bother me because it's up the top and it is a little bit useful. A lot of the guys are probably, because that's been a mod for a long time, a lot of people are used to looking up there to check relative information on what's our hit points looking like. It's info, right? And it's as useful as you can use it. It's like any intel.
Well, it is, and that's very true. And Gummy Bear is with me on this. I can't, I tried it, and the tier separation thing spreads it out.
I don't use that.
Stare at the end.
Yeah, no. I don't use that. I turned off. I don't really care about that. Yeah.
No. And that funny noise, Randall. Thank you. I thought I was going mad. let me go on a tangent, Guido,
No,
please.
tell them the story. It's good.
Right. Well, since the update, I've been playing the game, obviously, and every time an enemy tank died, and I wasn't sure if it was my own team as well, there'd be like this child screaming in the background. I thought people were being murdered out the front of my window. I cacked myself the first time it happened. I was like, ah! And I went, crikey, what was that? And then these weird noises kept going on. Like this. I'm going, this is not good. This is not good. Either I've gone off my rocker, or I'm haunted, or something's wrong with the game. And I thought it was just me. I didn't know anybody had any, And then Guido put me right this morning. He said there's quite a lot of them. And anyway, as part of a tangent, I'm already like up here now about this. And then if you look at that Christmas stocking on Guido's window, Guido went out to go and do something of the room, and while he was out, that stocking moved, and I literally had to go to the toilet because I nearly shit myself. I thought, we're haunted. I've got coming through my headphones and things moving when there's nobody there.
So those sounds are...
so come back to the sounds.
Yeah. What is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women. That's what you're hearing. That's Conan.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Yeah, I don't hear the
turn them
sounds.
off?
I don't think so. I don't think you can turn them off. Do you guys know? I don't think so. I looked in there a minute ago before it's been many minutes ago, hour ago, when we were initially talking about this before we went live. Yeah, so a mod, yeah. I'll be back.
I can't understand. I can't understand what that adds to the game, apart from making silly people like me jump out the chair when it happens.
So we were discussing it on stream yesterday. The guys mentioned it, and I said, I don't know if I've ever heard that, to be quite honest, because
Right.
my sounds are so low. All I hear are guns firing and the pings. The rest of it, I don't, slight engine noise, but I have most of my stuff turned down. I don't listen to it.
You've said that before.
Yeah.
And 13 Disciple also plays with it virtually silent as well.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's an indication of better play.
I don't think so, because there's better players than me that say they turn the stuff up. Somebody did a video. Might have been Skill. I don't know who it was, but they were talking about how they use the surround, kind of sound for hearing stuff break. So when they're zoomed in or concentrating, they can hear something behind them or whatever. I don't know if that. I don't have no idea if that's possible or true. I assume it is if you're good enough, but I like to hear when they shot too, Slime Cat. So that's one of the things I do have. I also look for the animations, but yes, the shooting is definitely. It was True Voodoo. Yeah, there you go. True Voodoo turns it up to listen. So he's better than I am. So maybe that's the way to go. A lot of it is because I'm in my room and I don't want the reverberating ba-boom, ba-boom to bother the rest of the house and stuff. So there's some of that too.
Because you don't wear your headphones when you play, do you?
No.
No, that. Oh, okay. I get it
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
That's actually a good
So
point.
I hear all sorts.
Yeah, that's a good point. I could turn it up and have all that going if I wore headsets when I play, but I don't wear headsets when I play.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. This is a total sidebar, but how many different ways people do all of this? Some people use a trackball,
Oh, right, okay.
They like it, or they have a disability that's the best way they can do it. Some people have the sounds up, down. Some people wear headsets. Some people don't. All the different things they turn on or off depending on what they do. A lot of good players turn all the effects and other crap completely off, so there's no distractions,
Yeah.
And they have their settings down and stuff, and it's kind of just all they're really doing is looking for weak spots and that kind of thing.
I think on that point there, I think there's quite a validity about that, because I remember when the game was way back before all this graphics came in. It felt a lot easier to actually play. I know it sounds silly, but it was little boxes with tracks on going around the maps.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
What's your mouse? I mean, I've got basically that. That's my mouse.
I absolutely love the Logitech mice.
Oh, look at that! All right.
With they've got a weighting system in the bottom of it. So my mouse has almost all the weights in it. It's nice and heavy. So
Right.
it gives
Okay.
some kind of weight to it when I move it around. It feels makes it feel, I guess, more accurate to me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
some of the really light ones, like razors and things, I don't like those.
No, well, I mean, I've got bog standard. That's quite light, and it doesn't. Do you know when you? I mean, I'm tracking it across two mouse pads to try and get movement on it. I know you can set the sensitivity better and all that lot,
Yeah,
but I am going to invest in a new mouse. So, recommendations, please.
I like
I'll take yours
just like
first.
Sly Meerkat said. This I think I have a G502. There's many. There's a whole series of them. It's a G whatever. Mine's a
Okay.
50. Mine is a 502. G502 is what I've got, but they've got a 602 and blah blah blah. It has enough extra buttons on to be useful, but not so many that they're in the way for me.
Yeah.
You got another one with RotoCat, which I've never heard of.
Okay.
You do want a decent DPI. There's a point at which it doesn't matter unless you're no kidding a real professional. And
Right.
the deep you need a good DPI, in my opinion, for World of Tanks. Where that really comes in is all the first person shooters, where no kidding it does matter if you're the very first to get the
What? I know I'm stupid. I'm going to ask the question. What's DPI?
Mamba Wireless 16,000. Yeah, somebody put in. I can't remember what DPI means. It's basically the speed of the
Okay.
mouse. It's how fast it reacts or how accurate it is,
Okay.
kind of thing.
All right. Wireless. See, that's the thing. Somebody told me always use wired because wireless has that tiny lag, and I get enough lag playing across the Atlantic anyway. But you don't want to compound that by having wireless.
Dots per inch is what DPI means.
Dots per
I
inch,
think
okay,
I think that in general the wireless are good enough now that it's really hard to tell the difference.
Okay.
I like the cable because I don't have to worry about batteries and all the other fussing around. I don't have to worry about whether a lot of times the wireless and Bluetooth stuff just decides to stop working or disconnect. It's just another thing.
Yeah.
USBs do that too, but I find the wireless stuff does it more than some plugged-in
Okay.
USB item does.
Okay.
That's just my opinion. Completely anecdotal.
Okay.
Completely anecdotal. Yeah, Sly. On a related note to that, I have some Windows notification that occasionally comes up and takes my mouse away from the game client. It drives me freaking crazy. And I did a little research yesterday trying to find what it was, but I haven't quite tracked it down yet.
I get a lot of that. Not that, but you know, Windows will. I've learned how to turn it off, but it will take priority for updating itself. I didn't realise this, but within Windows 10, there's you know a parameter which says it will override everything else to force the update. So you
Yeah.
can actually go into, and I watched a YouTube video, so I followed it, and I went in and turned that off, because then you know it doesn't consider itself a priority anymore. Because when you're in game and I've got that going across the Atlantic lag. It's only tiny lag. I mean, it's it's milliseconds, but it's still a lag compared to what you guys get.
Yeah.
I don't need Windows suddenly updating itself in the background and drawing on the resources. So I didn't know Windows was like that, but yeah,
Yeah, virus scan pop-ups are a problem.
there's another one. Yeah.
Maybe some of it actually might be my virus. It gives me the Windows notification ding, so I think it's Windows. What I found is you can turn them all off, but I was wondering if there's a way to go in there and figure out which exactly one it was that was doing that and turn that off, because sometimes there's other ones I want, so I don't know if it's an all or nothing game or what.
Right.
So we'll have to figure that out. Let's see, where are we? Let's talk tanks.
Let's talk tanks.
I think that's everything for update 1.12. I like the UI additions. That's nice. I like the buffs. There's also Battle Pass and some other things in there. Battle Pass, guys, we're expecting in a week or so, I think. The 15th was a date I had that was kicked out, potentially.
Right.
That is Monday, the 15th, potentially. So if anyone's got any other... I am going to build a new rig, Kedge. If anybody has any update on Battle Pass, let me know. But I want a good graphics card, so I'm sort of... And I don't want to pay 3 times what I need to for it, which is kind of what you're doing right now.
I mean, what are you
Yeah.
running now? You got an Nvidia, haven't you?
I'm running a 1080 GTX Ti, which has been an absolute beast for years and years.
going to say, my whole thing about upgrading is if it's not needed, just maintain the same level.
Well, this thing, I mean, what a great card that's been. I mean, you have to, that card was a home run. You know, it's
Right.
usually when I build a rig, 2 or 3 years into it, I'll buy a new card. Well, I haven't done it with this one because I haven't needed to.
Wow. That's
Now
good.
I could do better with some of the higher end games by getting a better card. That's I'm not saying it's still able to do everything, but I rarely run. I haven't run into any issues except maybe in the VR stuff. So I know a new card will help me with the VR stuff. I need a new card and a new visor because my Oculus Rift S is good, but it's limited at this point in resolution for what VR games can do. So I do need a new card and I want to get the H2 reverb for my VR stuff. So
Right.
that I am limited in that case, but for any 2D stuff on the screen, it has not been a problem.
Now, here's a question. This game's been around, we'll talk tanks, this game's been around 10 years. If it's to be around another 10 years, should it go VR? Wouldn't that be awesome? VR World of Tanks.
I don't see how that would be any better though.
Do you not?
No.
Be able to look over your shoulder and see stuff.
One thing that might be cool for it, and there's a couple VR games out there where you have the headset, and these are kind of RTS boardish kind of games. You're like a god, kind of standing over it, and you have your controllers and you can move your things around. So if you were
Okay.
using your WASD and your mouse, and you were actually 3D, and you could see the map in front of you as a 3D thing, and the tank
Right.
driving around, that would be pretty cool. But it's a little bit. It makes you a bit dizzy. There's the VR. They call it VR sickness. It's not necessarily sickness, but it's feeling queasy.
Right.
So there you go. NATO Tiger's got the Reverb G2. What's going on, Stump? How are you, man? Yeah, the G2 is what I want. Yeah, there's some motion sickness, and the problem is that the brain is set up, the otolith organs and the whole, your conceptualization of time, space, and all that crap is 1G, eyeballs, I see a horizon, I'm level, everything works. You put a VR headset on and things aren't quite right, and the brain and the ear canal and the otolith organs are like, what the hell is going on here? And they're not feeling necessarily the physical sensations, but they're seeing weird stuff going on, and that can jack you up. Some
Yeah.
people are more susceptible to it.
Well, I was going to say, is that a problem when you do VR training for pilots then? Do they
Yes.
have that situation?
Yes. Yeah.
Crikey.
Yeah. Yep. And it's not something that it's not completely debilitating. It is for some people.
Yeah.
Some people can't do it. They get really screwed up.
Right.
So,
Okay. Cool.
yeah, if you're used to that, now if you're a pilot and you're flying, there's a lot of things you can do in life where there's a lot of motion going on and it doesn't bother you. Like if I stopped flying for a while, the first couple times flying back, I didn't get sick, but sometimes after you landed, you're just a little bit kind of off. You're like, man. But once you start back into it, you get used to it, and it just doesn't bother you.
Right.
Because we take people for rides, for incentive rides in the back seat, and it would absolutely destroy them. And you'd fly multiple times a week, or you'd fly 3 times a day in a surge or something. You're just used to it, and it doesn't bother you. But if you're not used to it, I mean, people just come back. They're done. They're done for 24 hours. They're down and out.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
All right.
Where were we?
Where were we? Black market. Let's talk about the black
Yeah.
market. So I started this thing off with the Awful Panther guys. So I did buy that. It cost me $25 million. I completely overpaid for it. Noted. Where is it? It is a Tier 7 light tank, German light tank. And I've put the crab with the big teeth, which has the added benefit of looking like braces because with these pieces of wood or whatever that are up here. Then I had to put the potato camo on it because it's a big potato tank. And then I spent $250,000 free experience and all the books I had on improving the crew. And yes, they are just an Awful Panther crew, and I think I'm going to leave them that way because why not? Who cares? And then I added a bunch of equipment, so we haven't played it yet. Also, like we said earlier, you get your stats back, whatever your stats were in that tank. So Good stuff. What else have you guys got? The A32 came out. Of all the tanks, Pilgrim, that were out, the ones I wanted were this, the
Yep.
A32, and the Quillin, and I've only got the A32 so far.
Right. Well, I've got absolutely nothing because the Quilling did me in because I've only got 30 million silver, so I thought, well, uh, put it all on the one. I was going to wait to see what comes out. I haven't seen. I don't know if you've seen it. I haven't seen a leak of the list of tanks that are maybe or may not be on the black market.
It's out there. It's out there.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
and they've modified it a couple times along the way. That wasn't quite right at the beginning, but it's been right for a while now. So
Right.
they've got it. I mean, the Awful Panther was on it. This 3D skin I just put up on the 50M was on it. I think the Quillin was on it.
Right.
I think the A32 maybe. I'm not sure on that. But Charlie got the WZ Quillin for 5.7 million. How'd you get the Quill for 5.7? You mean 50.7? That thing was 30, right? How did you? Yeah, it had to. I bid 25 million, didn't get it, so it had to be more than that.
Yeah, because there's a lowest bid limit, wasn't there, or something?
You got it for 25 million, Sly. That's what I bid for it. I didn't get it.
Was it limited in numbers as well?
I think they're full of it. It was 25. Oh, EU. Well, it was still expensive on EU, wasn't it? Anyway, so the Quillin, the A32, the 50M. I got the skin for the 50M. I paid 1,000 gold for that. Overpaid, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, Kedge got it for 313. I paid 1,000 for mine, but again, this is Wargaming's gold, so fantastic. It's cool. This is a great 3D skin, though. The reason I wanted to show it is I'm so glad there's not a giant AAA piece on top of it. Or
Or a
your
surfboard.
or your favorite, the dinghy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or the dinghy.
that
Yeah.
dinghy. Yeah, these kind of 3D skins are fantastic. Just some
Yeah.
extra equipment and maybe an extra machine gun or whatever. But like stuffed animals and all the other garbage they chuck all over it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I do like that. I didn't get it, but I do like that. I've sort of, I guess it's the same problem the world over. For me, to get in first on the act, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. So
Right.
unless it's something I really, 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 really want, I mean, I would get up at 4 and go and get it. But
The timing
there's no
thing's
point.
tricky though, isn't it? Because
Yeah,
so the problems are either you do it all at the same time, and then when do you set that up? Because some region's going to get screwed at least some part of the day.
yeah,
So I'm assuming the way they have it set up is at least one of them is in a decent time of the day. For NA, for me, it's actually not too bad. It's 10 in the morning and 10 at night. That's
Yeah.
reasonable. That's not a get up at 2 or 3 kind of thing. 10 doesn't work very well for me because I'm usually that's the heart of whatever I'm doing, that working or doing 12-12 gaming stuff or whatever. If I'm home, that's fine. I can do it. But otherwise, if I'm at work, doing a sim, then I obviously can't do anything. You can do remote things and go into remote desktop. There's workarounds. You can do that.
yeah,
Or they do it, staggered such that, but then somebody knows what's up.
yeah,
And then if they want to
Yeah.
have somebody not know what's up, then they have to change the order of everything. So,
yeah, yeah.
they really can't.
And
There's
they've got to
no,
coordinate it across
yeah,
all the different servers. Otherwise, people will be going, well, if EU gets it first, everybody else will know what's coming up then.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And all that sort of
there's no graceful way for them to do it, so I get.
No.
I think this is probably the best, where it's just,
Yeah.
it's
RNG says the next tank should be the Progo.
Progetto. Okay,
Yeah, cool.
nice.
I got that.
So how are you getting that RNG? Is that from a leak spot or? I know people have been right 5 minutes before because the client miners, there's something that happens in the client that they know it. Looking at the site's info. Okay, yeah. I'm just, like I said earlier, I'm waiting for that T22 so I can put my theory to the test.
In fact, do send me a platoon request because I want to watch it.
I think, man, I really think I've got something there. So we're gonna,
I think it's a winner.
yeah.
It's a winner chicken dinner, definitely.
Let's talk about that T22 a little bit. Why don't we do it since we brought it up?
Yes, since you brought it up, yeah.
Yeah. There's a website. What pops up? What tank? A few minutes before it goes live. So, correct. That's right, Slime Cat. Yeah, there's some kind of client data mining that there's something that happens in the client that they can know what the tank is. Okay, so if I get the T22, and I will spend every bit of Wargaming's gold that I have left, 79,137 to get it. There you go, Cliffy, thank you. Yeah, Cliffy is a mod, so he's able to post links, yeah. The theory, and I really think this is true, is I'll take the T22, I'm going to put a 50% crew in it because I think 100% is too powerful. And then I'm going to put no equipment on it because I think it probably works better with no equipment. I'm going to put no food, kits, whatever on it. And then I'm going to turn it around backwards where its best armor is, and I'm going to go HE load only because I think that's the way to do the best. And then I'm going to drive straight at the enemy. I'm going to do that once a day for as long as it takes to perfect that particular excellent plan.
Oh dear, oh dear. And I want to be in that platoon when that happens.
I believe a tank like the T-22, that's the kind of effort it deserves.
That is so true, though, isn't it?
Right?
It is such an OP tank that you can literally guarantee, well, not quite guarantee, but you can literally say, yeah, that'd work.
The only way it just came to me. I just had a second epiphany. There is one way to make that perfect. If I could do a count in with as many people as possible on my team and they could surround my T-22 and take it to the enemy cap.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Thanks for the follow, Archangel21. Welcome. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to say...
Yeah, I think you might have a point there.
Here's a controversial statement. I actually did a video on the T-22. It's in the I think review section on the YouTube channel. There's nothing wrong with the T-22. I mean, I played it a couple times on my sheriff account and just walked through people. Of course, that T-22 has every skill on the crew, so that there's a help there. There's nothing wrong with the T-22, and if it gets a buff, it'll be slightly better. Yes, it's the worst of the Russian hover mediums. That makes it better than just about every other medium at tier 10.
Yeah. Yeah, it does, doesn't it, really?
So the forums are full of T-22 talk, which I always like throwing grenades into those things because that's a lot of fun. People get really emotional about it. I will admit that I was irritated greatly by the rigging that people did to get that tank. But it's very interesting how many people show up in the forum claiming that they got it legitimately.
Yeah, like 90%. Like 90%. I mean, just a random percentage plucked out the air, but about a good 90% of people went, "Well, I got it legitimately."
I know it's holy crap. There's some really just amazing players on NA that got it legitimately. I mean, wow. Who knew? You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
Silly me. I thought most people rigged for it, but hey, fact is, apparently, according to all the people on the forum who come in and talk about it, they actually knocked it out of the park and got it legitimately.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course they did.
Yeah, I mean, good on them.
I'm with them.
The best part about it is, if you look at it and you parse the words of most of the people who talk about it, generally they don't deny that they just read the sentence and read how they've written it. rarely do they full up deny that they cheated.
Yeah.
There's always some.
Yeah.
Is it prevarication? Is that the word?
I think that's a good word. I think
that it?
it goes along the lines. It goes along the lines of that, where it's like, well, wargaming set it up that way, so it's not cheating.
Yes. Deviate from the truth. Equivocate.
Equivocate. Yes.
Prevarication. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but you guys understand what I'm saying. They're always just around the edges of admitting, but not,
Yeah, that's the sort of way you could do it, because wargaming set it up that way. It wasn't. I didn't cheat. It was there, and so why not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what it boils down to a lot of times. It was too hard. That forced me to do it. Wargaming is awful for making it too hard. I used all the advantages. Sorry, I blocked 4 or 5 people from enjoying the game because I needed to get the pixel tank because it was too hard. Oh, that's right, Clippy. I forgot that one. I had to because the other clans will have it, and if I don't have it, I just had to do it.
That's like, when that is so true of the world, isn't it? When your kids have they've done something completely wrong, bad, whatever, you know what I mean? Well, I had to do it.
Yeah.
All my mates were doing it. I had to do it. It's like, really? Did you? Really? Do you think about that?
That's a powerful impulse, though, because it applies to a lot of stuff. It really is, You feel like you've been pushed into a corner, and then you start doing things, you start pushing the boundaries of what you think is ethical or moral, and then you justify it in your mind. And that is humans are just made up of that kind of thing, right?
Well, of course, I mean, if you take that to the extreme of the extremes, that's where you get situations like Bosnia, or, we could go back as far as the Second World War with the Nazis, but people like, the Serbs and all the rest of it, all the war crimes that went on, people became immune to it. The people involved in it became immune to it because initially it was like, oh, well, they're all doing it, so, I've got to get in on the act because I don't want to be the one being slotted on the back of the head or whatever.
Or it got done to me, right? It got done to me, so now I'm going to do it to you. You see people rigging, and you're like, holy crap, they're all doing it. And then I think wargaming does have a large amount of what's we're looking for fault here.
Oh yeah,
because they knew it was going on for quite a long time and they let it go. Now, the problem is it was an NA problem specifically because of the low number of population. It was much easier to do, especially late at night. It was much more difficult on the RE server to do what the people on the NA server were doing. And that's their large market. So I think they wanted to try to make this thing work. They didn't want to shut it down for all the Russian guys. I wish they would have just shut down the NA version of it and said, sorry, faster. But what happened is some of that, everyone else is doing it. Then we had bandwagon people jumping on going, well, clearly Wargaming doesn't care. They haven't done anything. So let's go ahead and see if we can get ourselves a T-22. And, a considerable, 1,500 or something like that? A considerable number of them went out.
Yeah.
Charlie, I happen to agree with that. On the surface, I'm with you there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I can understand. I understand the rationalizations, even if they are rationalizations. There's excuses and reasons. There are lots of reasons for why we do things. There are precious few excuses for why we do things wrong. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good point that Cliffy makes out about the culture was bred in CW, where clans used to pre-arrange. I mean, there was a big stink about that. Clans were arranging matches between themselves to benefit one or the other. You know what I mean? There was a lot of that going on, where clans would actually set up battles with a determined outcome.
Yeah.
Crazy. I mean, what's the point?
And this attitude is endemic to gaming, and it's a reflection of human nature and culture and all that stuff. It happens. You can't sit here and go, well, everybody should should be perfectly ethical and moral. That just doesn't
No,
happen.
I mean it's the real world out there, isn't it?
Sure.
People will take advantage where they can.
And
That's my experience in life, buddy. People, will, if they can, they will take advantage of you if you let them. You know what I mean?
And people's definition of ethical and moral is different than yours sometimes, or enough different that they can overlook that and cooperate with each other for a tank. So I don't know. My issue has always been people. What we started this with is they come to the forum and act as if they didn't do any of that.
Yeah, exactly that. Don't bullshit me. Sorry.
If you don't believe it was unethical or immoral, that's fine.
Yeah.
As far as your argument goes, I don't like it.
No.
But don't blow sunshine up my ass and act like you didn't do anything. If you rigged, you rigged. And if you happen to think that that was fine, well, then make your argument. Then we'll have a debate about it. That's
yeah.
But don't come in there and act like every dude who shows up about the T-22 got it legitimately. Of course, maybe then the rub is their legitimately is your and my rigging, right? So
exactly, yeah. Each to his own. You know what? It does wind me up when people don't look. If you're going to do that sort of thing, just say I did it. I've got every respect for somebody if they want to just fess up and go, you know what, I rigged it, but I got it. I'm like, oh, cool, okay, that's your business, not mine. But exactly that. If people come up and go, oh, no, I'm not the one you need to look at. It's somebody else's problem. I did it all fair and square. Now, what that does to the people who actually did it fair and square gives them no level ground whatsoever. Because they'll say that and everybody's going to disbelieve them anyway. So,
yeah. Confessions of
Do you read that from high school?
No, I'll look at it later. There you go. All right, let's move on from T-22 shenanigans.
Okay.
We talked about
that,
black market. Last thing we got. Oh, for one thing I wanted to mention is there is, for you EBR guys, this might be a lot of fun for some people. There is an EBR race, and I'm wondering if it's already happened. Nope, I think this article just came up. If you go to the Daily Bounce, which is Harkonnen's blog, there's an article there. I'll show it to you here. There's an EBR race being organized. Oh, I guess it's actually streamers. All right, so it's Xenolon, YZN3, DACI, and XCR. Just pick your favorite.
Oh, it's not for everybody to join in.
Well, I don't know. Hold on, maybe. There's some places.
I did briefly have a quick look at it, but I didn't go into it.
Oh, okay. There's a Discord link right there. So I think it's open to everybody. I think because it goes down to 20th place. So there's something. I don't know what's going on. No thanks very much. Yeah, don't know. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out for you guys. If you're interested, check that out.
Oh yeah, there's rewards for it and everything. That's cool.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Crew 2.0, guys. Crew 2.0. So apparently it's been shelved for the moment. I think it's more of a back burner than shelved, as in it hasn't been shelved as in it's never going to come back. I think it is going to come back in some fashion.
Yeah. You're right, Guido. It's going to be like Wargaming have already stated. It's coming. Deal with it. However, absolute kudos to Wargaming for sitting down, taking note of all the responses from the sandbox, and actually, being big enough cojones to go, okay, we'll sit back, we'll have a look at this. It obviously needs a rework. There are major concerns with it. They've taken a list of those concerns, and they're going to try what they can. But it will come. But it might not come for another year, maybe. I don't know. But it will come.
Yeah.
And the fact they gave us the opportunity to give them feedback, and they've listened to most of it, kudos. You can't ask more from a gaming company than that, can you, really?
Yeah. This one was pretty obvious, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It didn't take a lot of brains to understand how bad this thing was and how much the players didn't like it. But good. I agree with you. Yeah, that's so somebody just put in there, it was Wayne. Yep, that was kind of the main thing. There is an article on the on the main page with the results. Appreciate that. Kedge, right on. Gift sub to Randall Green. Fantastic. Thank you. Preliminary results, that's what he just put in there. So the major topics that Wargaming thought we were irritated with. Experience of 0 skill is not taken into account. I think that's valid. So the 0 skill crews kind of got screwed.
Yeah.
We talked about this last week. I can't even fathom how that got by, but anyway, it did. No bonus to crew qualifications for a fully trained commander.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would agree with that. Randomness in the choice of instructor skills, 100%. That was a terrible idea.
Yeah.
That was an awful idea. Effectiveness of different skills in new and old systems. Yeah, people could not basically build. Now this one's going to be tricky. I mean, it may have been by design they didn't want it to be able to be built like the old skills. If you're going to, so this is funny. If you're going to go Crew 2.0 in the way they did, and then rework the skills such that you can get the same benefit out of the old skill system, then why the F did you do it in the first place?
I know. We go back to square one where
Yeah.
we say incremental changes would have been just fine.
Right.
Thank you.
So why not just add extra skills and rework some of the things and add the stuff that was cool? We'll get to that in a second. Unnecessary crews remaining from the old system. I didn't do enough conversions, but apparently after you did them, you still had a bunch of guys cooling their heels in the...
Yeah.
Which makes sense because now you're training for 3. It was really kind of weird how they did it.
Yeah, but also on the top of that was the exchange of the non-skilled crew members that were left in the garage for crew books and all
Right.
that sort of stuff. So there would be that part of it as well. So were you actually left with crew members sat in the garage that weren't commanders then?
I don't know. I didn't do enough conversion to find out.
Right.
I sort of gather that was a thing, and then looking at that text file you sent me, he mentions that as well. That there were, but by the time he was done redoing it, he had a lot of guys sitting around, guys and gals sitting around with no use. So I don't know if that was the intention to take those at some point in the future, and then they'd turn them into crew books.
Okay, because some of them will have lots of skills with them, but you just didn't have space for them. Okay, all right.
Really what they had was experience that you wanted to be able to. His suggestion was let people combine crews and build up other crews. A lot of his suggestions I liked, but they were in the framework of staying with 2.0 and the skill system they'd set up, and I would like to see how to go away. What was good? I think most people like 6 cents for everybody. I hate it, but whatever. If you're going to give 6 cents, it's a skill that is a good skill. Leave it a skill. You grind skills you like. It was a good skill. Why in the frick does it have to be automatic? I don't get that.
I mean,
I can't.
To be honest, I would never put 6 cents on an artillery piece, for example. So what's the point? If you're spotted by then, you're dead.
Well, once you turn it into a game mechanic, then it's not a skill anymore. It's a game mechanic. I mean, that's the argument, right? You're like, everybody should get that skill for free. No, what you're saying is that should be a game mechanic. Why? It's a skill. Why not just leave it as a desirable skill that people want it?
Yeah.
Hold on, Heisenberg. Let's finish up with the crew. That was good. The 3 tanks for a crew with slots. Okay, that was interesting. I guess I'm not necessarily against that. That would be kind of neat. There's enough tanks in the game. Now, I don't know, for somebody who's established like me with a lot of crews, I don't know. I guess that would mean I could take a really good crew and put it in 3 different tanks.
Yeah, well, that's currently what I do mess about with, hence when we platoon up, it takes me forever, is that I've got some very good skilled crews, and I don't mind throwing a bit of gold to change their affiliation to whichever tank it is, within nation and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
I don't have massively skilled, but I've got a couple of 6 skilled crews, and I will spend gold to move them around. So the idea that that particular commander, whatever it is then available to go to 3 different tanks is actually good news to me. Saves you spending gold,
So Randall says that's my concern, Randall, is that the new skill tree system is coming no matter what, and that this is simply a step back and start to working on the complaints, and we're still going to get this one commander thing. And I hope not, but I've said it before. I'm pretty sure that train has left the station. So right now they're going to try to address the major complaints with the system while keeping the system. I would rather they scrap the system and just improve the skills. Oh, the other thing was streamlining, obviously, moving crews from tank to tank. I completely agree with that. Make everything commander, gunner, driver, loader, radio operator. With the loader, radio operator, the same guy. Who cares if historically it was 2 or 3 or 10 or 50 people? Just make it those 4 qualifications. Those are the major qualifications for driving the tanks, operating, blah, blah, blah. And then you can build X number of skills for each one of them under the current system, and then each one of them, if it's brothers in arms, you could make other skills that require all of them to have, which have a bonus. I mean, there's so many options in there. But I think you're right. They're going to go with the new UI thing, and it's going to be one commander.
Yeah.
I'm realistic. I get it. I'm railing against the wind. Old man yells at clouds, all that good shit. So that was good. 3 tanks, movement of crews, 6 cents, which fine, if that's what people want, whatever. Those are the good things, I thought. What else was there in there that was good? I mean, new skills. I mean, yes, let's work on new skills. That's a good deal, I think.
Well, yeah, I get that, but there's the thing you've got to take into account is we won't know whether those skills are actually worth anything until we start playing them. So that's going to be the pain in the backside, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, AMC makes a good point there. 6 cents when you're new and you don't have it, it's good to know you're spotted. So I suppose maybe that is such an important thing in the game now that it does decrease a pain point for new players. So perhaps overall it's better for the game. So Heisenberg 1.12 was supposed to have a BP exchange. What is that? What's a BP? What am I missing here? I'm not sure what a BP exchange is. Oh, blueprint. I didn't know that. Exchange of blueprint fragments soon after the update release. The option to exchange national and universal for valuable in-game items. Cool. So it'll be a limited time thing. That's nice. So then they can kind of rotate that through over the years, and that's cool. Boy, I'm going to be able to buy a lot of stuff. I have a lot of those. Mad Dog is still mad at World of Warships.
What was it saying?
Blueprint
so
exchange.
It's saying you can allocate blueprints to a nation.
No, he's saying you can exchange them for in-game goods. There'll be a store where the currency is blueprints.
Okay, all right. Okay, I thought there was something. I seem to remember reading something that they were looking at. You could allocate your blueprints to a different nation.
The easy one
you can
is
make nation blueprints.
Yeah, well, maybe there will be some of that where you can actually move them around to other things. That would be cool too. The no-brainer is to make them exchanged for free experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a no-brainer because that's in the same region of gameplay that they already exist.
Yeah.
So we'll see. War Games motto is if it's not broken, let's break it. Yeah, they do seem to do that on occasion. They do seem to do that. Everyone's talking blueprints. One guy at Wargaming who needs to justify his job, otherwise we talked about that last week. It's somebody's baby, so I think it's not going to die. Cliffy's letting me know about the blueprints. Charlie Horse doesn't need premium time. It's already more than his life expectancy. Hey man, it gives you a goal to live for. You gotta, as we get older, we gotta have those goals so we don't just sit down and give up. So I've at least got 547 days of goal left here.
Yeah.
Here are a bunch of blueprints. Stare at them until you figure out how to drive a tank better. That's right. Yeah.
Oh dear.
All right, cool. Well, I think we're getting to the end, Pilgrim. Is there anything we missed?
Off Crew 2.0, I think we've got that squared away. I think you've got everything else done. I think that's it. Is it not?
Yeah, I'm going to say what my wife's cousin's kid says, and not talking to you. I've used all my words I'm going to use on you.
That is brilliant.
Yeah. In her little English accent, when my wife was trying to talk to her. You know, as you do, you sit down with the little kid and you ask him questions, and you kind of try to engage.
Yeah.
She'd finally been fed up. She's kind of a precocious little girl. She's not, well, I mean, she's a teenager now, but back then. I'm not talking to you. I've used all my words I'm going to use on you.
I must try that at work.
Oh, man. Yeah, they're going to come over and, yeah. I may go get the
Put
boxes.
Christmas away.
I may just go get the boxes and stage them. Sometimes I do that. I stage them on the back porch in the screen room. You know, and then she's like, she sees them, she's like, ah.
Force the issue. Sometimes you've got to force the issue.
Well, I have to be careful because if the mood isn't correct, I may send it over the tipping point, and then that just backlashes onto me. Sometimes I can gently nudge towards the what's the word I'm looking for? Outcome that I'm looking for.
Outcome, the result.
Yeah, the result that I'm looking for.
Cool. Yeah.
All right.
There are ways, isn't
there? There are ways. Hey guys, thanks for coming by. I appreciate it.
Shall I do the competition, Guido?
Oh yeah, hit them up with the competition.
Okay, listen. Like I said last week, guys, I'll throw a competition out every week for 500 gold. I do believe the two that won the last week and the week before received the gold. I've got messages off them to say they got it, so it works. So competition time. You've got to be quick off this because Guido doesn't have a lot of time left. Here we go. I'll give you a question. Yeah, he's got less time than the blueprints. Right, here we go. There will always be questions that are researchable in Google to a point. All right, so you should be able to do it. The quickest Google finger will probably get this. There is a regiment called in the British
You
Army.
do this, and I'll be right back.
Okay, is the called the Royal Logistic Corps. Okay, the Royal Logistic Corps was made up of several forming regiments. So old regiments of the British Army were all put together to form the Royal Logistic Corps to provide logistics to the British Army everywhere, anywhere in the world. So there's 3 questions here that you need to give me answers for. First of all, what was the names of the forming regiments? And I'll let you know how many there were. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 forming regiments. Okay, 5 forming regiments. And if you can give me the names of all of them. How many Victoria Crosses, which is the equivalent of the Congressional Medal of Honor, how many Victoria Crosses does the Royal Logistic Corps have? And the third question is which regiment within the forming regiments were known as the Gravediggers and why? So you've got to get the 5 regiments' names, the 5 keys, Cliffy, you're very close. How many Victoria Crosses do they have? And which regiment of the forming regiments were known as the Gravediggers? Mad Dog doesn't care. You don't want 500 gold, do you? Right, hang on. Oh, look. Gio's got 1, 2, 3, 4. Gio's got the 5. Oh, was it your core, RNG? Well, you. It's up to you. You need to answer this question then, innit? Gio's got the 5. So what you need, Gio, is to tell me how many Victoria Crosses the regiment's got and who was the forming regiments were known as the Gravediggers. Still serving, RNG. Well, God bless you, sir.
Which one is his core?
Royal Logistic Corps. Bless him. So he should know the answers. 20 years done, buddy. Okay, I did 30.
Nice.
No, it doesn't go back to the cheating discussion.
No, the rules allow Google Foo.
Gio, you're ahead of the game because you've got the 5 names. What I need to know is how many Victoria Crosses did the regiment have, or the RLC have, and which regiment, the former regiments. Right, Randall's got the... okay. Gio's said 5. So Gio's 2. Randall's 1. We're not counting RNG. That's cheating. Cliffy, Google it.
Pilgrim made me Google the cheat.
If you're quick enough, Gio, if you can know which regiment was known as the Gravediggers or the forming regiments, you've got it. It needs
I
to be
know.
all 3 answers.
I know, but I cheated. I got the answer.
Yeah, Guido Googled it.
I didn't know 5. I didn't, but Pilgrim
No.
already told me which ones are the grave diggers.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see which one is it.
I think Gio's ahead of the game at the moment. Randall's got 1. RNG is staying out a bit like a true Brit. Well done, sir. Because it's his regiment and he'd be cheating if he won. I might just give you 500 for not cheating.
Gravedigger is
Monster truck.
it is
No.
a monster truck in the US, correct. That's a fact.
Oh, is it? Okay,
oh, yeah.
cool.
Yep. Quite famous
Not
one.
the postal guys, Charlie, no.
Can't he just guess 5 times in a row and eventually get it?
Well, somebody will, won't they? Gio's ahead of the game. Randall's got 1. What I'll do is I'll give it what, another 20, 30 seconds to allow you to Google, and then I'll give you the answer, and I'll give the gold to the one who has the most of the 3 answers. What's the question?
There's the Gravedigger truck.
And I'll give you the reason why they were called the Gravediggers as well, for a giggle.
Apparently Gravedigger, the truck, has an actual Wikipedia page of its own.
Get out.
Oh, yeah.
Dear. Randall Green's got 2 out of 3. Gio's got 2 out of 3. Okay, you've got 10 seconds. I'm counting it down. Oh, in fact...
Florida man knows the is.
Okay, we've had... Yeah, no, yeah, we've... Yeah, okay. We have... Well, a joint winners. We have joint winners. We've got Randall and Gio. Joint winners. Okay, so you'll both get 500 each. RNG, I can't give you it because it's your call. Right, do you want to know who the Gravediggers, the Royal Pioneer Corps? Because, and here we are, right? I don't know. I know it's your call. All right, but so it'd be a bit unfair, but cool. Thank you. So you, Randall and Gio, you've got 500 gold coming your way this week. Today, sorry, not this week. Gravediggers, the Pioneer Corps, back in the day, and I'm not sure if somebody tells me this, the US Army has a similar sort of scheme. I would like to know. But when you go to your induction, you go for your first interviews about joining the British Army, you tell them what you would like to do, and then they come back with what they're telling you you're going to do.
Yeah.
So I went in and said, I'd like to fly aircraft. He said, well, what are you doing in an army recruiting office? You're going to join the infantry, sunshine. I went, okay, fair one. So when you do all that and you do your first 3-day assessment, if you fail, in the British Army, they don't get rid of you. What they do is they go, okay, we've got somewhere you can go because you're just completely stupid. Well, they're going to kill me for this. We will put you in the Pioneer Corps. Oh, that sounds fun. What do you do in the Pioneer Corps? Well, you go all over the world. You work with the Royal Engineers, with explosives. Now, if you're taking the most stupid people in your country and putting them into the army and giving them a sack full of explosives, that's probably not the best idea in the world, is it? But anyway, that's what they do. But over and above that, they dig graves. That's their job. They get a spade. They go, you're not getting a rifle because you're not clever enough for a rifle. Here's a spade. Go out there, dig a hole. Off you go. And if any enemy come your way, hit him with the spade, put him in the hole. All right.
Got a place for him.
Oh dear, bless them. Yeah, but they are the salt of the earth. They really are. They are. You know.
I like Heisenberg's quote was, kid fell off the monkey bars. Mr. Heisenberg, sometimes that happens every time. 50% of the time, it works every time.
So I guess there's nothing in the US Army then. They just clean toilets.
Artillery live in Moyock, 20 minutes north of it. Yeah, no more pioneers. Oh, man. However,
yeah, they did actually. RNG, you're correct. You are correct. The artillery, which is why the artillery wore a white lanyard for cowardice. for like 200 years. I think it was Sebastopol that the artillery ran away from the guns, and then the pioneers took over the guns and carried the fight. So they wore a coloured lanyard on their battle.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, and the artillery had to wear white for like 200 years. I think they can
wow.
wear coloured now. I think they got over it, but for 200 years they were known as cowards because they ran away from the guns. 100 years, 100 years.
Dude,
yeah.
that's rough, man.
Well, no, yeah, you're all cowards. Wear a white lanyard. You know what I mean?
100 years of shame. Holy crap.
Yeah, no, cool. You know when you were in the Gulf, as a quick tangent, you know when you were in the Gulf and you did your thing,
Huh?
did you ever have to do the burn the toilet thing?
The burn pits?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't have to do burn pits, but yeah, they were all around us, yeah.
Yeah, that is got to be bloody officers. They don't burn their own shit, do they? Get somebody else to do it. But yeah,
hell, yeah.
that's got to be. You get the enlisted to do it. That's got to be the worst job in the army. You're on burning the poo.
Well, that's not all they
Get to
burned. The
it.
problem was with those, and the reason people are having problems is they burned everything. So, wood, treated wood, which has a lot of nasty stuff, plastic,
Oh yeah.
nasty stuff, plywood with all the glue and crap in it, chemicals, whatever, everything went into these big burn pits, and the smoke would just roll over the camp.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, I breathed my share of it, but I wasn't there for a year, and I wasn't standing next to it, feeding it like the guys who are really having trouble with it.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Yeah.
Just need Randall's in-game name, please. I think I've had it before, but I just want to confirm it. If you can let Guido know for me, please. Biscuit Browns.
Yeah, some of your. Which one do you need?
Randall's. I've got Geo's.
Randall's. G Wyatt. That's right.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I did it last time. Didn't I?
GWYATT.
Cool.
Well, great guys. Like I said, thanks for coming by. Since the new patch came, I had a couple dozen replays from you guys. I'm not going to get to those because it's the old version. It doesn't work. But feel free, please, to continue to send me the replays. You want me to take a look at, or you have something cool, or have an amazing game, or something you have a question about, or whatever. Squeezy cheese. I do remember squeezy cheese. Yeah.
As a quick tangent before you finish, we've had this conversation before. You guys had MLREs, didn't you? Meals.
Yeah. Ready to eat,
I think it was.
Ready to eat, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we called it meals rejected by Ethiopians because you kept coming and pitching our rations. Oh, I don't know. Cool.
Yeah, the cheese was that was a special kind of cheese. Yeah.
Oh God.
The peanut butter was better. The cheese was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you used to have Tabasco sauce though. That was about the only thing about MREs was Tabasco sauce.
Yeah,
Cool.
You just put that on everything. All right, appreciate everybody coming by. That's all I've got. Thanks for the interaction in the chat. Hope you guys have a good day. Call back the tangents. No, we're not going there again. That's everything from the left side of the Atlantic.
That's everything from the correct side of the Atlantic. Thank you.
See you guys.